Hi, my name is Castillo. Today I'm going to show you how to restring a bass. A bass guitar can have anywhere from 4 to 8 strings. The bass I'm going to show you on today has a 5 string. When I was about 11 years old, they came to me and they gave me a 4-string bass and they told me, hey, you need to learn how to play this guitar. I thought it was a broken guitar because it didn't have 6 strings, but they told me it was a bass. Nobody showed me how to play it. Nobody showed me how to fix it. I remember trying to change the strings on my own, and it was difficult. It's not something you should let an 11-year-old do. Now, when you restring a bass, there's 4 basic steps. The first step sometimes is done for you if you pop the string. That is to make sure that the string has been removed properly, the old one. The second step will be to make sure that the new string has been laced through properly and that it's the right string. The third step will be tightening the string to the desired sound. And finally, when we finish that, we'll cut off any excess string that it happens to be on the bass guitar. Today we have a 4-string. This is a 4-string regular bass. But we're going to be showing you on a 5-string bass. What you need to do this properly is, of course, you need the bass guitar. When you get the bass guitar, you also need strings. At the music store, most of the strings are sold in a standard 4-string pack. If you need 5 strings or more, you usually have to buy them by themselves or order a special set of strings. You'll also need a set of wire cutters. That way you can cut off the excess string. When you're using the bass, you're going to make sure that you loosen the string from the top. This is called your tuning area. You're going to loosen it, making sure to go slowly. Make sure you're not tightening the string. And you can do that just by hitting it, because if you're tightening the string, you might pop it, and you don't want to get hit by that string. It will hurt. When the string is loose enough, you can usually just roll it off and pull it down through the bridge. You don't want to take off all your strings at the same time, because chances are you might get mixed up and end up putting the wrong string on the wrong spot. You don't want to do that. When you take off the old string, make sure you wrap it up to get it out of your way. Most of the time when you're changing strings, unless you're a stickler, you change a string because one of them broke, so you won't have to wrap it up. When you open your package of strings, on the package, it shows you the location of the strings by using color coordination. On here we see that it has 6 strings, even though there's only 4 strings in this pack. It shows that would be the standard 1st string on a bass would be green. It has copper, but copper would actually be the high string on a 6-string bass. And then it has the top 6 string, which is a B string, which would be in purple, which is also the low note that would be on here on a 5-string bass. We're not using the purple one because it's not in the pack. But what we do is we look through the strings, and we find that this one has a purple end. If we look at the string that we took off, we'll see that it too has a purple end. Most of the times they're matched the same with the color coordination. Sometimes though it might have a little string on it, it might have a little bit more. You make sure that you have the new string unwrapped. Before you lace it on, you want to make sure the length is long enough that you didn't get a string that's too short, because that would have some problems later on. You would take your new string, the bridge on the bottom, there's some holes, and you would just lace it through there. Putting it through the hole on the bridge. Sometimes it's a little tricky. Especially if the string has been used before. When you lace it out, you want to make sure, this one's giving me a little trouble here. That it's as straight as it can be to lace through there. Then you want to make sure, as you see here, I have the problem that it's not in the right spot. That on the bridge, there's a groove that the string will lay on top of. You pull the string up, making sure that it's laid on top of that groove that it's supposed to go through. When you come to the top, again, there's a groove that you would put your string through to make sure. This bass, don't know if you can see it, actually has a metal bar that you would lace the string under to make sure that it goes under tight properly. You take your string up, making sure it's in the right groove, You would lace it through your tuning apparatus up here up top, and you would begin to tighten it. Many times the best way to tighten it is by pulling the string tight down here. If you hold the string tight, it becomes easier to tighten. There's a device that you can use that will automatically tighten these strings if you choose to use it. One of the problems with that is sometimes it tightens the string too tight. One of the things too when using a new string is you have to realize that a new string sometimes is going to loosen up as the wire gets tight, as the weather changes. So you're going to have to constantly tune it for a little while when you have a new string. But as you see, we're tightening this, and it's taking a little bit, but it's getting there. You want to make sure that your string, as you tighten it, is underneath the tip of the old string right up here. So you don't want to lay it over the top, you want to lay it under. Because if you put it under the top, then it'll pop it off. As it begins to tighten, you want to tighten it not to where it's really tight, but to where it has the desired sound that you want. A lot of times you can use an electronic device connected to the bass guitar, or you can tune it by ear. What you do first though, before you start tuning it, is you just keep strumming the string to make sure you don't hear any metal on metal action. When you hear metal on metal, it means that the string is still loose and it's rubbing against the fretboard. But you keep on, and you will tune the bass so you get the right sound that you want. Now, when you've gotten the string to tighten to where you want it, you would get your wire cutters and you would cut off any excess string that's up here. Right now, we don't have any excess string. It came out just right the way that I tightened it. Once you have that, then you've completed the process of restringing the bass guitar. Now, the process of restringing the bass guitar, like I said, has 4 basic steps. The first one is making sure that you have the old string on. The second step would be making sure that the new string has been placed on there properly. After you've done that, you want to make sure that you tune the bass to the desired sound. Some people tune it to the sound that's recommended. Other people tune it just to their ear, the sound that they want. After you've done that, you make sure you're using the wire cutters that you cut off any excess string. You don't want to just flop it around up there. When done properly, you'll not just have a good sounding guitar, but you'll have a great looking guitar because the strings will be uniform. Everything will be the way that it's supposed to be. I want to thank you for taking the time to sit with me today as I show you how to restring your bass guitar. The steps will be followed through for every string on the guitar. You have a good day.